Match each cloud benefit to the appropriate description or example. Each item may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Ability to withstand failure and continue running. Reliability. Handles DDoS attacks with globally distributed design. Cloud security. Ability to deploy pre-configured resources without manual steps. Management of the cloud provides monitoring and alerts for system health. Manageability, health monitoring, enables cost forecasting through real-time usage tracking. Cost predictability. Let's go ahead and explain why each of these matches is correct. First, reliability refers to the ability of a system to recover from failure and keep functioning. So when a system withstands failure and continues running, it's demonstrating reliability. Next, cloud security is designed to defend against global threats like distributed denial of service attacks. A globally distributed design helps absorb and mitigate these attacks before they impact users. Now, management of the cloud fits perfectly with deploying pre-configured resources. With cloud templates and automation tools, admins can spin up entire environments without manual setup. Moving on, manageability, health monitoring, covers systems that automatically alert or take action when there's an issue, ensuring everything stays healthy and responsive. Finally, cost predictability makes sense for usage tracking. Real-time monitoring of cloud resource usage allows organizations to forecast spending and manage budgets more effectively. Each match highlights a key benefit of cloud computing, showing how these features work together to enhance performance, security, and efficiency. Fill in the blanks by selecting the correct options in the drop-down menus. When an application must remain accessible even during failures, it should be designed for high availability. Let's take a moment to explain that answer. High availability is all about ensuring that your application or service remains accessible and operational even when failures occur. This could mean using multiple data centers, redundant systems, or load balancing to keep services running without interruption. In contrast, low encryption has nothing to do with uptime. It's a security setting that deals with data protection. File deduplication helps reduce redundant data in storage but doesn't affect application accessibility. Reserved capacity refers to pre-allocating resources, which might help with cost or performance but doesn't guarantee availability. So, in real-world terms, if you're running an online store, high availability ensures customers can shop even if a server crashes or a data center goes offline. Arrange the responsibilities in the IaaS model from provider to customer. Instruction: drag and drop the items into the correct order, starting with responsibilities handled by the provider at the top. Manage power and cooling. Maintain physical servers. Install and patch the operating system. Configure firewall rules and security policies. Let's break down the explanation step by step. In an infrastructure as a service IaaS model, the cloud provider is responsible for the physical infrastructure. That includes managing power and cooling, ensuring the data center is stable and climate controlled to support hardware operations. Next, the provider maintains physical servers, including hardware repairs and replacements. These two responsibilities fall entirely under the provider's domain. However, once the virtual environment is handed over, the customer takes over. They must install and patch the operating system, making sure it's up to date and secure. Lastly, the customer is also responsible for configuring firewall rules and security policies, which control network traffic and secure the system from threats. So, the model clearly shows a shift from physical maintenance, provider, to software and security configuration, customer, demonstrating the shared responsibility in IaaS. Helen is preparing for an internal presentation and needs to explain what Azure is to business executives. She wants a reliable definition that includes the variety of services Azure offers. What's the best way to describe it? Select one answer. A security and identity platform for managing users. B, a hosting service for only web applications. C, a virtual networking and DNS system. D, a cloud platform with a growing set of services for building business solutions. The correct answer is D, a cloud platform with a growing set of services for building business solutions. Now let's break that down. While Azure does offer security and identity management, that's just a part of the larger picture. It's not what defines Azure. Similarly, describing Azure as a hosting service for only web applications is too limited because Azure hosts everything from AI models to virtual desktops. And while virtual networking and DNS are certainly part of the Azure ecosystem, they don't fully capture its scope. So, the most accurate way to describe Azure to a business audience is as a cloud platform with a growing set of services, because that highlights its flexibility, scalability, and broad range of business ready tools. What two tools help estimate and plan cloud costs? Select two answers. A. Total cost of ownership, TCO calculator. B. Cloud container volume. C. Azure pricing calculator. D. Deployment pipeline visualizer. The correct answers are A. Total cost of ownership calculator, and C. Azure pricing calculator. Now, here's the breakdown. The TCO calculator is designed to help organizations assess the long-term costs of running workloads in Azure versus traditional on-premises environments. It considers hardware, software, electricity, labor, and other operational costs. The Azure pricing calculator, on the other hand, is more specific. It provides an upfront, service-by-service estimate before you even deploy anything, helping you plan your cloud spending in advance. However, cloud container volume is a storage term. It might help you manage data, but it doesn't help estimate costs. And deployment pipeline visualizer is related to CI/CD pipelines, not budgeting or cost planning. So, for planning cloud costs, stick with the TCO calculator and Azure pricing calculator. They're built for that exact purpose. Your development team wants to simplify deployment, automatically replace failing components, and manage infrastructure without manual intervention. What features of the cloud support this? Select two answers. A. Health monitoring and automated alerts. B. Pre-configured resource templates. C. Local machine replication. D. Manual CSV tracking. The correct answers are A. Health monitoring and automated alerts, and B. Pre-configured resource templates. Let's go over why these are the right choices. Health monitoring and automated alerts enable cloud systems to continuously track the status of applications and infrastructure. When something goes wrong, alerts can trigger automatic remediation, like restarting a failed service without waiting for manual input. Pre-configured resource templates are another key feature. They allow teams to deploy entire environments with predefined settings quickly and reliably. This reduces setup time and minimizes the chance of errors during deployment. Now, local machine replication might sound useful, but it lacks the scalability and automation that cloud-native tools offer. It's more of a backup or redundancy technique than a deployment solution. Finally, manual CSV tracking is outdated. It's labor-intensive and prone to human error, definitely not suited for cloud environments where speed and automation are key. So, to simplify and automate your cloud infrastructure, rely on tools like automated alerts and resource templates. They're built to do exactly that. Fill in the blanks by selecting the correct options from the drop-down menus. Microsoft 365 supports real-time collaboration using OneDrive for file storage and Excel or Word for simultaneous document editing. Let's take a moment to explain this setup. OneDrive is Microsoft's cloud-based storage platform. It plays a critical role by allowing files to be stored and synced across devices, creating a shared space where multiple users can access and collaborate on the same document. Then comes Excel and Word. Both of these apps support co-authoring, which means multiple people can open, edit, and see each other's changes in real time. This makes collaboration smooth and efficient, especially for teams working remotely. Now, Paint isn't part of Microsoft 365 collaboration tools. Forms is great for collecting data, not editing documents. Booking's used for scheduling appointments, not file collaboration. And Delve helps surface documents but doesn't support live editing. So the right combination for real-time teamwork is OneDrive for storage and Excel or Word for active, simultaneous editing. Match each Microsoft Teams feature with its description. Each item may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Enables real-time messaging and group chats. Chat and instant messaging. Stores and shares files in team channels. Files tab point. Provides scheduled and ad hoc online meetings. Meetings and webinar. Supports integration of third-party collaborative apps. Collaborative Apps offers AI-powered meeting recaps and summaries. Microsoft 365 Copilot in Teams. Now let's walk through the explanations. Chat and instant messaging is the foundation of Teams communication. It allows quick, real-time conversations in both group and one-on-one chats, keeping collaboration fluid and immediate. Files tab, SharePoint, connects Teams with SharePoint, meaning that when you share files in a Teams channel, they're automatically stored and organized in a SharePoint document library, making collaboration seamless and centralized. Meetings and Webinar handles both scheduled and ad hoc online meetings. Whether you're hosting a quick check-in or a large virtual event, Teams supports audio, video, and screen sharing. Collaborative apps enhance the Teams experience. You can bring in apps like Planner, Whiteboard, and third-party tools to expand what you can do right inside the Teams interface. Finally, Microsoft 365 Copilot in Teams brings AI into the picture. It can automatically generate meeting summaries, extract action items, and surface important discussion points, helping users stay productive and informed even if they miss a meeting. Unused options like Teams Phone and Planner have specific roles but don't directly match the listed descriptions, so they're not the correct answers here. For each Microsoft 365 Admin Center feature, drag it to the appropriate description in the correct match column. Each item may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Manages users' subscriptions, licenses, and access. Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Provides an overview of app settings like email and sites. Global settings for apps. Enables access to service health and activity reports. Service health and activity reports. Customizes dashboard views for more complex tasks. Dashboard view assigns roles to Microsoft Entra users. Microsoft Entra ID management. Now let's explain why each match is correct. Microsoft 365 Admin Center is the central hub for user management. It handles licensing, subscriptions, and permissions, giving IT admins full control over the environment. Global settings for apps refers to configuring system-wide app behavior, such as email or SharePoint access, settings that affect all users in the tenant. Service health and activity reports offer insight into system uptime, outages, and overall service usage, helping admins stay proactive about platform health. Dashboard View is a customizable and often advanced admin interface where complex management tasks and feature visibility are configured. Finally, Microsoft Entra ID Management is responsible for identity and access roles. It lets you assign and manage user permissions securely within your organization. As for Microsoft Teams and Outlook, they're excellent tools, but they don't belong to the Admin Center's core management structure, so they remain unused in this question. For each statement below, indicate whether the answer is true or false. Customer voice is used to gather customer feedback and analyze it at scale. True, Whiteboard with Copilot can organize ideas into themes or original visuals. Sway is included in the Power Platform alongside Power BI and Power Automate. False, Clipchamp can be used to add video transitions, titles, and multi-track audio. True. Let's walk through why these answers are accurate. Customer voice is indeed used for large-scale feedback management. It provides survey tools and analytics features, making it ideal for collecting and analyzing customer input across a wide audience. Next, Whiteboard with Copilot enhances idea generation through AI. It helps categorize ideas, create visuals, and summarize brainstorming sessions, making meetings more productive. However, Sway is not a Power Platform tool. It's designed for storytelling and presentations. The Power Platform consists of Power BI, Power Automate, and Power Apps, not Sway. Lastly, Clipchamp is a versatile video editing tool. It supports video transitions, titles, text overlays, and multi-track audio, making it powerful for content creators. Each statement aligns with its respective service's core features, except the one about Sway, which is the exception here. Fill in the blanks by selecting the correct options from the drop-down menus. Co-management enables simultaneous management of Windows devices through both Configuration Manager and Microsoft Intune. Let's go ahead and explain why this is the correct pairing. Co-management is a hybrid approach to managing Windows devices. It allows organizations to share workloads between the traditional configuration managers, on-premises management, and Microsoft Intune, cloud-based management. This flexibility is especially useful during cloud transitions, allowing IT teams to move management workloads in stages without disrupting the user experience. On the other hand, Tenant Attach gives visibility into config managed devices from the cloud, but doesn't enable actual co-management. Windows Autopilot focuses on provisioning and deploying new devices, not managing them. And Endpoint Analytics is about monitoring device health and performance, not management. So when it comes to managing devices from both environments at once, co-management with Microsoft Intune is the right strategy. For each statement below, indicate whether the answer is true or false. Microsoft Viva helps boost employee engagement by integrating learning and continuous feedback. True. Microsoft Stream supports video sharing but does not provide AI-powered video summarization. False. Microsoft Outlook integrates email, calendar, and contacts into one app. Microsoft SharePoint is primarily used for creating surveys and quizzes. Let's go over the explanations. First, Microsoft Viva is designed specifically to improve the employee experience. It brings together learning, well-being, insights, and communications into the flow of work. So yes, it supports engagement through continuous feedback and learning tools. Next, while Microsoft Stream does support video sharing, saying it lacks AI-powered summarization is incorrect. The new version of Stream includes Copilot features like auto-generated video summaries and face detection, so the statement is false. Microsoft Outlook is indeed a productivity hub. It combines email, calendar, and contacts, helping users stay organized all in one app. Lastly, Microsoft SharePoint is a content and document management platform, ideal for intranet portals, collaboration sites, and file sharing, but it's not designed primarily for creating surveys or quizzes. That role belongs more to Microsoft Forms. So 2 of these statements are true, and the other 2 are false, each clearly tied to the core purpose of the Microsoft 365 tools involved. Arrange the correct sequence for backing up and accessing files using OneDrive. Instruction: drag and drop the items into the correct order, starting with the first step at the top. 1. Automatically back up desktop folders and photos from your phone. 2. Sync files in real time across all devices. 3. Access files from any device, even offline. 4. Restore previous versions or recover deleted files if needed. Let's explain why this sequence is correct. The first step is to automatically back up your important folders and media. OneDrive captures files from your desktop and mobile devices to ensure they're stored safely in the cloud. Next, those files are synced in real time. This means any updates or changes you make on one device are instantly reflected on all other connected devices, keeping everything up to date. Then comes the ability to access your files from anywhere, including offline access. OneDrive makes it possible to work across multiple platforms without needing constant internet connectivity. Finally, if something goes wrong, you can restore previous versions or recover deleted files, a critical feature for maintaining file integrity and protecting against accidental loss. This step-by-step flow ensures your data is always protected, always available, and always recoverable, hallmarks of modern cloud storage. A marketing coordinator wants to draft product announcements quickly and personalize them with relevant data pulled from recent sales reports and customer emails. Select one answer. A. Use Microsoft 365 Copilot in Word and Outlook. B. Use Excel with embedded charts. C. Use Microsoft Forms for feedback. D. Use SharePoint libraries for email templates. The correct answer is A. Use Microsoft 365 Copilot in Word and Outlook. Now let's explain why this is the right choice. Microsoft 365 Copilot in Word and Outlook uses AI to pull in contextual data from various sources, like emails, meetings, and documents, and then drafts customized, branded messages directly in the apps you already use. This makes it perfect for generating product announcements that are relevant and data-driven. Excel with embedded charts might show trends or figures, but it won't create or personalize written content. Microsoft Forms is great for collecting responses and feedback, not for content creation. And SharePoint libraries store templates, but they don't write or personalize emails for you. So for quick, intelligent, and personalized announcements, Copilot in Word and Outlook is the ideal tool. What does Microsoft 365 include to ensure secure authentication during sign-in? Select one answer. A. Multi-factor authentication, MFA. B. Shared access signature. C. Windows Hello. D. Device PIN only. The correct answer is A. Multi-factor authentication, FA. Now let's break that down. Multi-factor authentication, M, is a key security feature in Microsoft 365. It requires users to verify their identity using more than one factor, such as a password and a mobile verification code, or a fingerprint and a device notification. This significantly reduces the risk of unauthorized access. Shared access signature is related to Azure Storage, not Microsoft 365 sign-in. It controls data access, not user authentication. Windows Hello is a local authentication method for devices, not a cloud-based sign-in method for Microsoft 365. And device PIN only is just a single factor, easy to guess or compromise, so it's not considered secure enough for enterprise environments. So when securing Microsoft 365 sign-ins, MFA is the go-to method for enhanced protection. Which feature in Teams allows users to create task boards and track progress within channels? Select one answer. A. Planner. B. OneNote. C. Power Automate. D. SharePoint. The correct answer is A. Planner. Now here's why this is the right choice. Planner is Microsoft's task management tool, tightly integrated into Microsoft Teams. It enables users to create task boards, assign tasks, set due dates, and visually track progress using charts and buckets, all directly within a Teams channel. OneNote is great for taking notes, but it doesn't manage tasks in a structured board format. Power Automate focuses on automating workflows between services, not on managing tasks. And SharePoint is a content management system. It's excellent for document storage and collaboration, but not designed for task tracking within Teams. So when you're looking to manage tasks visually and keep team projects on track within Teams, Planner is your go-to solution. A user wants to scan receipts and documents directly into their cloud storage from their phone. Which feature should they use? Select one answer. A. SharePoint site pages. B. Copilot in OneDrive. C. OneDrive mobile scanning. D. Version history. The correct answer is C. OneDrive mobile scanning. Now let's explain why that's the right choice. OneDrive mobile scanning allows users to capture physical documents, receipts, or whiteboards using their smartphone camera. These scans are digitized and uploaded directly into OneDrive, making them easy to store, organize, and access from anywhere. SharePoint site pages are used to build intranet content, not for scanning documents. Copilot in OneDrive provides helpful summaries and AI-powered assistance, but it doesn't handle scanning. Version history lets you recover earlier versions of a file. It's great for rollback, but not for inputting new content. So when the goal is to scan and store documents directly from a mobile device, OneDrive mobile scanning is the feature to rely on. For each attack stage, drag it to the correct description. Each item may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Identifying rogue users and mapping network structure. Capturing login credentials using brute force or password spray attacks. Compromise credentials. Compromising additional machines to escalate privilege. Lateral movement. Taking control over Active Directory or the domain controller. Domain dominance. Now, let's walk through the explanation. Reconnaissance is the attacker's early phase. It involves scanning networks, identifying users, and mapping out the Active Directory structure, gathering information to plan the next steps. Compromised credentials comes next. Here, attackers attempt to steal or crack login information using techniques like brute force or password spraying. Lateral movement happens after gaining access. The attacker uses the compromised identity to navigate through the network, looking for high-value systems or sensitive data by compromising additional devices. Finally, domain dominance represents full takeover. At this stage, the attacker gains control of Active Directory, allowing unrestricted access and the ability to issue commands across the environment. Alert suppression and posture configuration are not attack stages. Alert suppression is a defensive strategy, and posture configuration refers to preventative setup, not tactics used by attackers. This attack chain mirrors real world intrusions and helps organizations prepare defenses at every stage. Fill in the blanks by selecting the correct options from the drop down menus. Audit Premium provides higher bandwidth access to the Office 365 Management Activity API, enabling faster retrieval of audit logs compared to Audit Standard. Let's break that down. The Office 365 Management Activity API is the correct tool used to pull audit log data. When you subscribe to Audit Premium, you get increased bandwidth to this API, which means you can retrieve large volumes of audit data more quickly and efficiently. In contrast, Audit Standard offers basic auditing capabilities but with lower bandwidth limits, making it slower for intensive log retrieval tasks. Now, some of the other options listed are incorrect because Microsoft Graph API is used for a wide variety of Microsoft 365 services, but isn't the primary tool for audit log retrieval. Azure Audit API and Azure Monitor API relate to Azure Monitoring, not Microsoft 365 audit logs. Security Copilot might surface logs but doesn't control API bandwidth. Exchange, Admin Center, and Power BI API are not designed for audit log access at this level. So for fast, large-scale audit log retrieval, Audit Premium with the Office 365 Management Activity API is the way to go. Match each document-related action on the Service Trust portal with its function. Each item may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Lets users store selected documents for quick access later. My Library. Used to subscribe to updates for a document series. Series Subscription. Opens menu options to save a document to My Library. Ellipsis menu. Sends update alerts to a specified email address. Notification settings. Shows the most recent modification date of a compliance document. Document tile details. Let's break down why each match is accurate. My Library serves as a personalized hub where users can pin frequently accessed compliance documents for easy reference, similar to bookmarking. Series Subscription enables users to track groups of related documents. Once subscribed, users automatically receive updates when any document in that series is changed. The ellipsis menu, the three dots next to a document, opens up a range of quick actions, such as saving to My Library, making document management seamless. Notification settings allow users to customize their email alert preferences, specifying how often they want to be notified and where alerts should be sent. Finally, document tile details provide metadata for each file, like a brief description, version info, and the most recent modification timestamp. Unused options like Microsoft 365 Admin Center and Azure Active Directory roles do not directly relate to document functions within the Service Trust portal and are therefore not correct matches. Fill in the blanks by selecting the correct options from the drop-down menus. Attack surface reduction prevents exploits by hardening device settings, while automated investigation and remediation helps resolve common alerts without manual input. Let's go over why this is the correct combination. Attack surface reduction minimizes vulnerabilities by enforcing strict device configurations and blocking behaviors that are known to be risky, such as launching child processes from Office apps or running scripts from email attachments. It's a proactive defense to shrink the attack landscape. Automated investigation and remediation, AR, on the other hand, kicks in after threats are detected. It uses AI and built-in rules to evaluate alerts, determine root causes, and take remediation actions, like isolating a device or removing a malicious file without requiring human intervention for every alert. Now, why the other options are incorrect. CM Connector forwards alerts to external systems but doesn't take corrective actions itself. Secure Score Dashboard is great for measuring your posture, but it doesn't directly mitigate or fix threats. Safe Attachments is part of Defender for Office 365, protecting emails, not endpoints. Campaign View is focused on mapping phishing attacks, not preventing or remediating endpoint threats. Together, attack surface reduction and automated investigation and remediation provide strong, layered endpoint protection. One stops threats before they start, the other reacts swiftly when they occur. Fill in the blanks by selecting the correct options from the drop-down menus. Private privacy assessments automate discovery, documentation, and evaluation of personal data use to maintain accurate compliance records. Here's why each selected term is correct. Privacy assessments are designed to help organizations streamline the process of tracking how personal data is handled, reducing manual effort and improving accuracy. Discovery involves identifying where personal data is stored or processed, crucial for both transparency and protection. Documentation refers to the act of recording how that data is used, who has access to it, how long it's retained, and what it's used for. Evaluation checks whether that data usage aligns with company policies and applicable regulations. Finally, all of this helps maintain up-to-date compliance records, which are essential for audits, regulatory reporting, and demonstrating accountability. Why the other terms are incorrect. Device backups, packet routing, software licensing, and BIOS patches relate to IT operations or system maintenance, not privacy compliance or data protection workflows. In short, this flow, assess, discover, document, evaluate, and maintain records, is what enables organizations to demonstrate privacy compliance confidently and efficiently. For each statement below, indicate whether the answer is true or false. The compliance score helps admins prioritize actions with the highest impact on compliance posture. The correct answer is true. Compliance Manager requires organizations to manually update regulatory templates. The correct answer is false. Improvement actions can be assigned to users for implementation and testing. The correct answer is true. Compliance Manager provides ad hoc reporting without any structured assessments. The correct answer is false. Now let's go ahead and explain. The first statement is true because the compliance score in Microsoft Compliance Manager highlights which actions will have the greatest effect on your organization's compliance posture. This helps administrators make data-driven decisions and focus on high-impact tasks first. Moving on, the second statement is false. Microsoft automatically updates regulatory templates in Compliance Manager. This removes the need for organizations to manually manage those updates, which ensures that you're always aligned with the latest standards. Third, improvement actions can indeed be assigned to specific users. This is true. It enables collaborative tracking where individuals are accountable for addressing particular tasks, such as implementing controls or uploading evidence. Lastly, the statement about Compliance Manager offering only ad hoc reporting is false. It goes far beyond that by providing structured assessments based on standards like GDPR, ISO, and NIST, giving a complete view of your compliance landscape. Altogether, these features make Compliance Manager a practical and strategic tool for managing regulatory readiness. For each statement below, indicate whether it is true or false. Microsoft uses multi-layered encryption to protect data at rest and in transit. The correct answer is true. Only Microsoft has unrestricted access to enterprise customer data stored in the cloud. The correct answer is false. Microsoft's transparency principle includes publishing a list of authorized subprocessors. The correct answer is true. Microsoft collects user data to benefit advertisers and third-party marketing firms. The correct answer is false. Let's go ahead and explain each one. The first statement is true because Microsoft applies multiple layers of encryption to protect customer data, both while it is stored at rest and while it's moving through networks in transit. This ensures data confidentiality and security from unauthorized access. The second statement is false. Microsoft does not allow even itself unrestricted access to enterprise customer data. Instead, it enforces strict access controls, requiring justifications and audit trails for any data access, including by Microsoft personnel. Next, the third statement is true. As part of Microsoft's commitment to transparency, it publicly shares a list of authorized subprocessors. This allows organizations to know exactly who may have access to their data for service operations. Finally, the last statement is false. Microsoft does not collect data for advertising purposes. Instead, under its benefits to you principle, customer data is used strictly to improve products and services, not to serve ads or benefit third-party marketers. Altogether, these responses reflect Microsoft's deep commitment to data privacy, transparency, and responsible handling of enterprise information. For each statement below, indicate whether it is true or false. Priva subject rights requests offer insights and workflows to support request fulfillment. The correct answer is true. Consent models created in Priva cannot be customized with style elements. The correct answer is false. Data transfer monitoring includes transfers between different world regions. The correct answer is true. The Priva portal currently supports all Microsoft compliance features, including those in preview. The correct answer is false. Now let's take a moment to explain each one clearly. The first statement is true because Priva's subject rights requests provide organizations with actionable insights and workflow tools to help manage data subject requests more efficiently, especially useful under GDPR and similar regulations. Next, the second statement is false. Priva does allow customization of consent models with style elements such as logos and brand colors. This enables organizations to align user experiences with their corporate identity while managing consent. The third statement is true. Priva's data transfer monitoring can detect when information moves across regions, departments, or other defined boundaries, helping organizations maintain compliance with regulations that restrict cross-border data flow. Finally, the fourth statement is false. Not all compliance features are currently available in the Priva portal, especially those still in preview, such as consent management and tracker scanning. These may be limited to classic compliance centers. So overall, Priva is robust, but not yet all-encompassing, and understanding its capabilities helps ensure proper implementation across compliance workflows. Arrange the process of using Intel Explorer to triage a suspected threat. Instruction: drag and drop the items into the correct order, starting with the first step at the top. Correct sequence: open Intel Explorer, enter a keyword, IOC or CVE-ID. View results and linked articles, investigate threat actor behavior and related tooling. Take action based on associated recommendations. Let me explain how this works. To begin triaging a suspected threat using Intel Explorer, the first step is to open the tool. This gives the analyst access to Microsoft Defender Threat Intelligence. Next, they enter a keyword, indicator of compromise, or a CVE-ID to initiate a search relevant to the threat. After that, they review the results and any linked articles, which often contain detailed context, including attack summaries and known malicious infrastructure. Then, they investigate threat actor behavior and related tooling to understand how the threat operates and its tactics. Finally, they take action based on Microsoft's associated recommendations, such as updating security controls or informing incident response teams. This process provides a structured and efficient approach to threat investigation. A security operations team wants AI-powered assistance to help triage alerts, correlate data across services, and generate guided investigation steps. Which Microsoft Defender XDR integration fulfills this need? Select one answer: Microsoft Defender TI, B, Security Copilot, C, Azure Security Center, D, Web Application Firewall. The correct answer is B, Security Copilot. Now let's break it down. Security Copilot is the only option here that brings AI into the Defender XDR experience. It uses advanced language models to interpret signals across Microsoft 365 Defender, generate investigation summaries, and suggest next steps. That makes it ideal for triaging and correlating alerts efficiently. Microsoft Defender TI, although powerful for gathering threat intelligence, doesn't provide guided AI-assisted triage. Azure Security Center is focused more on protecting cloud workloads, not on cross-service investigation with AI. Web Application Firewall is a perimeter defense tool, useful but unrelated to XDR investigation workflows. So for an AI-powered tool that integrates deeply with Defender and accelerates response, Security Copilot is the right answer. Which two actions can be performed from the remediation page in Defender Vulnerability Management? Select two answers. A, track progress of mitigation activities. Export tasks to CSV. C, edit device group configurations. D, create conditional access policies. The correct answers are A, track progress of mitigation activities, and B, export tasks to CSV. Let's explain why. The remediation page in Defender Vulnerability Management is designed to help security teams take practical steps toward reducing exposure. One key action is tracking the progress of mitigation activities. This allows teams to follow up on assigned remediation tasks and monitor status over time. Another useful feature is the ability to export tasks to CSV. This enables teams to share updates and generate offline reports for further analysis or compliance documentation. On the other hand, editing device group configurations is not part of this tool. It's something managed in Microsoft Intune or Entra ID. Likewise, creating conditional access policies is handled in Microsoft Entra, not through the Defender Vulnerability Management interface. So if you're working from the remediation page, your focus is on tracking progress and exporting actionable data, not configuring devices or enforcing access policies. How can retention labels be applied to content in Microsoft 365? Select two answers. A, manually by users. B, automatically based on conditions. C, only by IT administrators. D, through external third-party tools. The correct answers are A, manually by users, and B, automatically based on conditions. Now let's understand why. Retention labels in Microsoft 365 can be applied in more than one way, depending on how the organization has configured them. First, users can manually apply retention labels to emails, documents, or other content. This is possible when administrators have enabled that option. It gives individuals some control over how long their content is kept or disposed of. Secondly, retention labels can be applied automatically based on conditions. This means the system can scan for specific keywords, content types, or patterns and assign labels without user involvement. It's a powerful way to ensure compliance at scale. However, it's incorrect to say retention labels can only be applied by IT administrators. While admins can configure policies, users also have a role if manual application is enabled. Also, labels aren't applied through third-party tools. Microsoft 365 manages label application directly through its compliance and governance features. So remember, labels can be applied either manually by users or automatically based on conditions set by your organization. Which capability allows you to assess internal file shares and their exposure risks? Select one answer. A, baseline policy engine. B, app governance rules. C, network share assessment. D, role assignment analytics. The correct answer is C, network share assessment. Let's walk through why this is the case. Network share assessment is designed specifically to evaluate how internal file shares are configured. It helps identify potential exposure risks, such as overly broad access or sensitive data stored in shared locations, and then recommends appropriate security changes. So if your goal is to understand internal data exposure, this is the tool for the job. Baseline Policy Engine, on the other hand, is about ensuring device compliance, not share security. It focuses on things like antivirus status or system configurations. App governance rules are all about third-party OAuth apps, such as those connected to Microsoft 365. They monitor app permissions and behavior, not internal file storage. Finally, role assignment analytics is part of Microsoft Entra and is used to examine directory role assignments, not shared file exposure. So when you're concerned about internal file share risks, network share assessment is your go-to. What does the ellipsis menu next to a document in the Service Trust Portal allow a user to do? Select one answer. A, open a document in edit mode. B, send feedback on the document. C, save the document to My Library. D, download the document to local storage. The correct answer is C, save the document to My Library. Here's why. When a user clicks the ellipsis next to a document in the Service Trust Portal, it reveals additional actions. One of those is the option to Save to My Library. This allows users to pin documents they frequently reference for quicker access later. Now let's clarify why the other options are incorrect. You cannot open a document in edit mode from the Service Trust Portal. Documents are provided in a read-only format. There's also no feedback mechanism built into the ellipsis menu, so sending feedback isn't an available feature there. And while downloading might be available elsewhere in the portal, the ellipsis menu doesn't provide that as a direct function. So the main takeaway is that the ellipsis menu helps you organize your frequently used content, specifically by saving it to your library. Which Priva solution automates privacy impact evaluations and builds compliance records? A, privacy risk management. B, consent management. C, privacy assessments. D, subject rights requests. The correct answer is C, privacy assessments. Let's go over the explanation. Privacy assessments is the feature within Microsoft Priva designed specifically to automate the evaluation of personal data usage. It supports privacy impact assessments and helps build the necessary compliance documentation. This is crucial for organizations that need to demonstrate data accountability under regulations like GDPR. Now, while privacy risk management helps identify risks like overexposure or misrouted data, it doesn't handle the assessment process itself. Consent management, on the other hand, is centered around how user consent is gathered and stored. It's not meant for risk evaluations. Finally, subject rights requests deal with responding to user access or deletion requests, but they don't evaluate or document organizational data practices. So when it comes to automating impact evaluations and building compliance records, privacy assessments is the right solution. Your company is building a multilingual website to comply with global privacy regulations. You want to ensure that users in different regions see consent banners in their local language and with branding that reflects your organization. What Priva feature should you use? A. Consent management in Microsoft Priva. B. Subject rights requests. C. Privacy risk management. D. Privacy assessments. The correct answer is A, consent management in Microsoft Priva. Let's break this down. Consent management in Microsoft Priva is designed exactly for this purpose. It enables you to deploy consent banners that are localized by language and customized to match your organization's branding. You can roll these out across multiple websites or regions, making it ideal for global compliance. Now, subject rights requests are more about handling individual data access or deletion requests, not banner deployment. Privacy risk management focuses on minimizing data exposure and managing transfer risks, but doesn't handle user interface elements. Similarly, privacy assessments help with compliance evaluations and documentation, but not with end-user consent collection. So when you need tailored multilingual consent interfaces, consent management in Microsoft Priva is your go-to tool. Your team wants to search content stored across multiple Microsoft 365 services, including Exchange Online, Microsoft Teams, OneDrive, and SharePoint. Which Microsoft Purview eDiscovery capability facilitates this? A. Create holds on content locations. B. Export search results. C. Search for content across supported Microsoft 365 services. D. Use Security Copilot integration. Correct answer, C. Search for content across supported Microsoft 365 services. Here's why. The eDiscovery capability that enables investigators to look across multiple Microsoft 365 services, like Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams, is search for content across supported Microsoft 365 services. This tool lets your team find and examine content across these platforms, which is vital for investigations and compliance reviews. On the other hand, create holds on content locations helps preserve data, but doesn't actually search through it. Export search results allows you to save results after performing a search, but it's not what initiates the search itself. And Use Security Copilot integration might help augment your analysis, but it doesn't directly perform search operations. So if your objective is to locate relevant data across Microsoft 365 services, the best answer is clearly search for content across supported Microsoft 365 services. What administrative privileges does a cloud solution provider, CSP, partner have over your Microsoft 365 subscription? A. They can manage licenses and settings. B. They can access your tenant with admin privileges. C. They can cancel your subscription without notice. D. They have no ability to provide technical support. Correct answers. A. They can manage licenses and settings. And B. They can access your tenant with admin privileges. Let's break it down. CSP partners play a vital support and management role. They can configure licenses, adjust subscription settings, and handle technical configurations, which makes managed licenses and settings a valid selection. They also hold admin-level access to your tenant, enabling them to assist with both support issues and ongoing management tasks. However, they cannot cancel your subscription without notice. That authority remains with the customer or is governed by specific contract terms. And saying they have no ability to provide technical support is inaccurate. In fact, CSPs are expected to offer technical and billing support as part of their service model. So when you're considering the scope of a CSP partner's control, remember, they manage licenses and access your tenant, but always within the boundaries of support and collaboration. For each SLA-related concept, drag it to the corresponding description that best explains it. The total time your services are functional, uptime. The time your services aren't functional, downtime. A claim about downtime, claim. The percentage of fees credited after downtime, service credit. Periods of downtime for maintenance, scheduled downtime. Let's each match. We begin with uptime, which refers to the total duration services are operational and accessible, essentially when everything is running as expected. Next is downtime, which accounts for the periods services are unavailable due to issues. This excludes planned outages. A claim is what organizations submit when they experience downtime requesting compensation under SLA terms. Service credit follows a successful claim. It's the percentage of your fees returned or credited based on the duration of service unavailability. And finally, scheduled downtime is when services are taken offline intentionally for maintenance or upgrades, and this is typically communicated in advance. Now, service level and incident were not used in this context. Service level sets overall performance targets, not time blocks. Incident refers to the actual event, but not the time metric associated with it. Which of the following best describes Power Automate's role in Microsoft 365? A. Personal cloud storage. B. Automating workflows and approval processes. C. Video content streaming. D. Email and calendar management. Correct answer, B. Automating workflows and approval processes. Now let's explain. Power Automate is designed specifically to streamline repetitive tasks and workflows across Microsoft 365 applications. It allows users to set up automated flows that can trigger actions, send alerts, collect data, or even start approval chains, all without manual intervention. In contrast, personal cloud storage refers to OneDrive, which is where users store and access personal files. Video content streaming is handled by Microsoft Stream, enabling secure video sharing within the organization, and email and calendar management falls under the functionality of Outlook and Exchange. So clearly, the best fit for Power Automate is automating workflows and approval processes. Your company wants to migrate its on-premises infrastructure to the cloud while maintaining full control over the operating system, storage, and network configurations. Which cloud service model best meets these requirements? A. Software as a service, SaaS. B. Platform as a service, PaaS. C. Infrastructure as a service, IaaS. D. Function as a service, F. Correct answer. C. Infrastructure as a service, IaaS. Now let's break it down. When you want to retain control over your virtual machines, network configurations, storage, and operating system in the cloud, IaaS is your go-to model. It essentially lifts your current infrastructure into a cloud environment without stripping away administrative access. On the other hand, SaaS delivers ready-to-use applications, like Microsoft 365, with no access to the OS or infrastructure. PaaS simplifies app development but manages the OS and infrastructure for you, limiting your control. And FaaS, or serverless computing, handles functions triggered by events and abstracts away both infrastructure and OS completely. So for full control in a cloud migration, infrastructure as a service is the clear choice. Arrange the service coverage from least to most comprehensive between Office 365 and Microsoft 365. The correct order is Office 2024 or Office 365, Microsoft 365. Here's the explanation. Office 2024 is the least comprehensive. It's a traditional one-time purchase that gives you local versions of the Office apps like Word and Excel, but without cloud services or collaboration tools. Office 365 expands the offering by bringing in cloud-based features such as OneDrive, Teams, and regular updates. It supports real-time collaboration and productivity across devices. Microsoft 365 is the most comprehensive. It includes everything in Office 365 and adds operating system licenses like Windows 11, advanced security features, and device and identity management capabilities, making it an all-in-one solution for modern workplace needs. For each statement below, indicate whether the answer is true or false. Microsoft Teams meetings can be joined without a Teams account. Correct answer, true. Webinars offer more control over participant roles compared to standard meetings. Correct answer, true. Whiteboard in Teams is a tool for audio transcription during meetings. Correct answer, false. Microsoft 365 Copilot in Teams can summarize chat conversations. Correct answer, true. Now let's explain why these answers are correct. To begin with, Teams meetings can indeed be joined without having a Teams account. This means external participants can simply click a link and join directly through a browser, which is particularly helpful for client meetings or guest collaborators. Next, webinars in Teams offer more advanced role settings than standard meetings. For instance, you can designate presenters, co-organizers, and use registration pages, providing better structure and control over large-scale events. Moving on, Whiteboard in Teams is not designed for transcription. Rather, it serves as a digital collaboration space where users can draw, write, and brainstorm visually. Therefore, calling it an audio transcription tool is inaccurate. Lastly, Microsoft 365 Copilot can indeed summarize chat conversations. This AI capability extracts key points, making it easier to catch up on long threads or missed discussions, especially helpful in busy team environments. Altogether, these features showcase how Teams enhances accessibility, control, collaboration, and productivity across different scenarios.